So there you have it, minus 40. My thermometer says minus 40 this morning. Environment Canada is reading minus 38. I'm just going to go into the shed to check to see what's happening inside the room, to see if the bees are able to keep it up over the cold night again last night. As you can see, the air coming out of my vent fans there's a lot of humidity coming out. If you can see that. My fan is actually dripping with water. Very warm, humid air is being pulled from the shed, and cold, dry air is drawing into the shed. So it's not too often I'll actually see, condensation flowing out of the shed like this. But it is super cold. I'm just going to take a look inside the room. So, the room is holding at 5 degrees, which is pretty good. I'm just going to do a CO2 reading while I'm in here. This thing starts beeping over 1,000. Looking at my air vents again. It's pretty frosty. I'll just walk into the middle of the shed. Right in the middle of the shed amongst all the bees. As they wait. And what do I read here? 5 degrees. Looking at 48% humidity, 3,700 parts per million. Pretty much stabilized at that. So I am pretty impressed. It is minus 38, minus 40 out last night, and continual airflow coming through this building just to keep fresh air to these bees. I haven't added any heat to the building whatsoever. It is very well insulated. I have 6-inch insulation around the walls, 2-inch styrofoam underneath the floor, and 12 inches up top on the ceiling. So it's a very well insulated room. But with that steady continuous flow of fresh air, which is keeping my CO2 around it's about 3,900 parts per million right now. The bees are able to maintain humidity of over 40% within the room and at an air temperature of 5 degrees. So that is pretty impressive. These hives are kicking off a lot of heat and a lot of moisture. We can kind of see that on the air exit on the vents, all the humidity coming and condensing in the air as it flows out of the vent. Not only that, but with the warmth of the air leaving the building, the air exchange is great enough that it's actually melting some of that frost as it comes out. So that is quite impressive. Actually, you know what? It'd be the sun on the ventilation shaft that would be melting the condensation. That's what the drip is. All the humidity exiting the shed is condensing in the air, and you can kind of see that fog as it flows out of the shed. So these are pretty extreme conditions. I have these bees tucked away inside this shed to protect them from these extreme conditions, and they would know no different of what temperature it is outside right now, other than just lower airflow. The shed has pretty much stayed steady from 4 degrees to 8 degrees this entire winter so far. So that's pretty good. Enough of the fooling around. Now it's time to get back to the farm and do some work.